Alright, welcome to Mass Effect 1. I am going to be replaying one of my characters. It isn't going to be connected to any of my fanfiction, which I've written quite a bit, but I personally like to play a certain way, so none of this is going to fit into any of my characters that I wrote fanfiction about. So, I am going to...
Welcome to Alliance Military Database. Classified information requested. Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
Alright, so I have just finished recording like hundreds of hours of Skyrim, where I read all of the books and did all of the completionist content, and I went down a deep Skyrim rabbit hole, and I really enjoyed it. So I am going to be reading the Codex entries here, which I've never done. So although I had read a lot of the Skyrim books, I had really completely ignored the Mass Effect Codex, depending more on like other people's YouTubes and wiki and fan stuff. So I'm going to be reading. It's not as, interesting, I would say, as the Skyrim universe, where everything is put into book form. Some of these are just very dry Codex entries, and if I come to that conclusion that some of it is just, a shopping list of like planetary measurements, I'm not going to be reading that. So it won't be reading everything. And I did discover that Mass Effect will auto-read some of its own stuff. So what I will be doing is reading the Codex before I go on missions. So I'll start the game and I'll read all the codexes that are available, and then we'll go to Eden Prime, and then when that mission is over, we'll read all the stuff that happened there. I'm not going to be interrupting the gameplay. I'll just have a little section where I read everything and learn everything, and that's just going to be Shepard's interest in study. So, I have Lineem Shepard here. I do have a bunch of characters. Morin here does suit my canon. My canon Shepard in Venri. Saleya is... So, Morim is Venri. She is in canon with Garrus. Saleya, I just took that name from Of Kittens and Broken Things. But I don't have a player who is Kara from Kittens and Broken Things. So Lineem is a word that was made up in Venri, a Taurian word. And Lineem means, in Taurian, the metaphor for sky close, which means you can look at the sky and see stars that are, really, really far apart and have no relationship with each other in reality, but we can create a story about them. It can form a constellation. It can become an imaginative pattern. So this is just generally, she's not any of my canon characters, because realistically, my canon characters are, pretty messed up. But she's pretty sane. So we're going to be role-playing pretty much 95% Paragon, with a few specific renegade choices that I know from lots of playthroughs are what I want to do or what I want to say. There are occasionally times where Shepard is not going to take anybody's shit or justify it, and there are times where I know the outcomes and Shepard's just going to, know and do that. So this is for me to get the best outcome in the game. It is role-playing, but the thing about here, even though I'm going to get a boost on my Paragon so I can afford to get a few renegade choices in there without getting to the end of the game and not being able to make those choices, is the game really punishes you for balance. If you try to be a balanced player who picks and chooses renegade over Paragon, you're going to make it to the end of the game without enough power to essentially do anything. You have to pick a side. So that's why, as I said, 95% Paragon, a couple of renegade choices, and some of them will have long-ranging reasons for doing that the character wouldn't actually know at the time. But I'm going to do, because I'll give one example. There is one Asari that you're never really sure if I think her name is Thanopolis, something like that, except that's kind of Greekifying it. But if you let her go in Mass Effect 1, she shows up in Mass Effect 2, and if you let her go in Mass Effect 2, then she goes on a rampage in Mass Effect 3 and kills a bunch of people. So to avoid that, the first time I see her in Mass Effect 1, I'm going to kill her, which is a renegade action, but it prevents future, although we're going to lose some of the content of her in later games, it has a better world outcome. So there are some renegade choices that are either funny or amusing or good character development or simply removing a threat that's going to become bigger in the world. So, and I will always tell Harkin that I would rather chew razor blades than have anything to do with him. He's just that gross. So there will be a few switches in, style occasionally. So I have done a modded game. I am new to Mass Effect modding, although I've been doing Skyrim modding for a while. The modding isn't as extensive. My Skyrim list has about 1,300 mods on it that I have put together, but this is much more limited. I've got probably 20, 30, 50. There isn't as much available. It is limited, and it's limited mostly to changing appearance. And from what I can gather, unlike Skyrim where you can do essentially anything, from what I can gather, you can mostly only do what's already in the game. So Linim will be able to wear outfits from Mass Effect 3. So you can take assets from other games and use them. You can change some behavior. You can create some cutscenes. But essentially, I'm doing an enhanced experience, not really a cheating experience, except in a few instances. So I am going to be bypassing all of the games. I actually really like the games. I like the games in Mass Effect 1 and 2, but since I'm doing a recording, it's not interesting to watch someone do that, 4,000 times in a game. So I have a mod to bypass the games. I'm going to start the game with essentially everything I need. So I'll be starting with all the best gear. And the way to do that, and I did it in a relatively vanilla fashion, except in one instance, which is kind of interesting. The vanilla game has Pinnacle Station in it, and I don't think people use this exploit much or were aware that this is what you could do. But if you go to your Entaise home, you can gamble about 250,000 credits on getting a good item, and you will always get a top tier item back. But you didn't know if it's going to be a pistol or a gun or a mod or a grenade upgrade, but it is all the highest top tier stuff. So if you play the game enough, to level 30, you make ridiculous amounts of money. So I put in the modded Pinnacle Station, won the arena, and then kept going and then I'd make, essentially 10 million credits, and then I would go to my apartment and gamble on good gear and sell the other stuff back. So everybody has the setup that I want to begin with. The only person who is not going to have everything she needs is Ashley for Vermeer reasons. So Linim is not going to be a character like I would write, she's going to be pretty much, the game is going to dictate what she has to say. It is a role play game, but you kind of have to play a certain way. We'll be romancing Garrus. No romance in the first game at all. And okay, so we're going to set the mods. And so some of that is going to have to be off screen because I'm going to start the game and then make So we're going to go ahead and get started. There's going to be some modding that I will walk through. There are a bunch of choices to make at the beginning of the game. And then once she is in the game, then I will be saving, exiting, and making some changes on her character and appearance for the run-through, for the effect and run-through that I want. So Laneem Shepard, level 30, colonist, war hero, infiltrator. I have tried to play other classes, but I just love infiltrator too much. I am permanently a stealth archer. The reason why I ended up that way is I have done 2 insanity playthroughs, and unmodded, and vanilla, and just starting at the beginning, like a level 1 character going through insanity. I will be playing insanity difficulty on Laneem because otherwise the game is insanely too easy. The other games probably not. Mass Effect 2 is hard no matter what you do, and it's just not. It's not fun. At least I don't think it's fun to watch someone die 90% of the time. I have toughed my way through it twice. I'm going to take the easy mod route because I mostly want the lore content, and I want this as a reference if I have a question or if I just want to sort of experience a completionist sense of playing a full Paragon that reads everything and knows everything. Then I can just replay this for myself. So I find that valuable and fun, and sometimes I do that, for both sides. We do a good run through, and then we're going to do a bad run through. We'll have to see, because the content, although the plot doesn't really change much, the characters do, and the content does. So I'm going to go ahead, get started, set up all the mods. Okay, so these are the mod settings. Community patch. I've already got it set up mostly where I want. This would give me data backtracking. So if you go through Ferris, you can publish some of the stuff for the community. Gives you M3 Grizzly and Novaria, which is you can just jump into a vehicle in a garage. This is interesting. I like that it says unknown creature over Rachni, because when you're in that section in Novaria, your character's going, "What is that? What is that?" And obviously, if you could read, you could see that it was Rachni. Okay. Some of these are just small tweaks to gear. This allows me to change everybody's gear. Stuff like removing helmets in conversations. That's my dog sneezing. Hi, Bo. Okay. So I can customize the way that they look before I recruit them. Okay, just because we worked hard on character models and other people worked hard, I just grabbed someone else's and then modified it. I'm going to take the options to remove helmets. I know it is immersion breaking, but I hate the helmets. Liara is actually going to wear armor when she's out in the world instead of constantly wearing her science outfits. Okay. I like the Alliance uniform consistency. That means throughout all 3 games, they will all be wearing the same. Okay. The same gear. Diversification project is great. Okay, this doesn't matter right now. This is a very poignant questline for the Mindwar colonist start. This project has decided that this is a good enough questline to be offered to people of every start. So it'll make it available for Spacers and Earthborn. I think I'm going to disable that, but since I am from Mindwar, it will be happening for me this time. So I like this that they add in male acolytes to the consort. Female Taurian dancers. And the Alliance ships from ME3 will be the ships from... will be the ship models here. Okay. Hold on. Okay, so once I get into the game, then I'll be able to set everybody's appearance. There we go. All right. So I'll be able to choose everybody's appearance before they get started. Let's see. Here's So the women can wear... Yeah, now there's... The commando looks really good. For Shepard, I'm going to be using Matriarch General because what is helpful for me is using more gear that has like this ombre or bicolor effect. Because the bad guys don't wear that much. And I find if I put everybody in like really cool black and red gear, which I would really like, I shoot them. Yeah, I kind of like this outfit on guys, but that belt is ridiculous on a woman. I'm gonna keep it casual more often and go with hoodies. So I would really, I really like this. I like the Kestrel armor, which is, I don't know if it's Mass Effect 2 or 3, but if I put my guys in that, I will shoot them. I'm not going to be putting in anybody in Blue Suns or Eclipse. Let me find... So I tend to go more with gray or white. Because the NPCs don't wear that as much. Okay. I like the Explorer. So, okay, so that's... He will look unique, and I will do less shooting of him. The women I like to put in the, or at least the humanoid women. They look really good. So they took Lawrence's outfit, the commando, and that looks great. So she's going to be more black and white. You try to want to make them... I kind of always hated the green on the Yara. She should be more in blue or purple, so that's good for her. Still keeping the essential shape and clear that she's scientist. And that looks really good. Garrus, I tend to go with things that go with his... Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like when their heads are covered. Turian should not wear hats. So that's more... It kind of looks like armor, but it is a little bit more casual. He is very military, and it matches his plate. Doesn't clash with his visor. Yeah, this is cool when they put the Blue Suns. So that would look good on him also for armor. This is just a very cool little thing that I really enjoy. Okay, Rex can wear red, not a problem. Yeah, he can do this. Yeah, speaking of this, I'm going to be taking Rex and Garrus with me. I know that Garrus and I are... redundant in a way, because it's essentially two infiltrators, but I can never not bring Garrus. And since I'm playing in a higher difficulty, I'm going to need some biotics. So the last playthrough I did, I had Liara, but I don't enjoy having Liara and Garrus together. They're both kind of humorless, at least in Mass Effect 1. And Liara is very Paragon, so she forces... so the way that it happens is a follower will have an opinion, and that will force the other follower to have a different opinion of a different nature. So it really does, since Liara is always going to be Paragon, and apparently always speaks first, and always is the one that talks the most, the other person is forced into providing the other side of the story. So it means that Garrus is kind of being an asshole all the time, and I don't like that. I would prefer that Rex were the dedicated asshole. And Garrus is going to be vaguely shocked by that. But yeah, taking two Paragon with you doesn't necessarily work, because one is going to be forced to compromise their morals. Okay.
Well, what about Shepard? She grew up in the colonies.
She knows how tough life can be out there. Her parents were killed when slavers attacked Mindwar.
She proved herself during the Blitz, held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
She's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question her courage.
Humanity needs a hero, and Shepard's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
In the year 2148, explorers on Mars discovered the remains of an ancient spacefaring civilization. In the decades that followed, these mysterious artifacts revealed startling new technologies, enabling travel to the furthest stars. The basis for this incredible technology was a force that controlled the very fabric of space and time. We called it the greatest discovery in human history. Civilizations of the galaxy call it Mass Effect.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. Board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1. Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1,500K.
1,500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
He sounds angry. Something must have gone wrong with the mission.
Captain always sounds like that when he's talking to me.
Can't possibly imagine why.
Okay, so I will be highlighting them, even though I know Joker and Caden don't have anything to say. I would usually just wander by, but I want to get all of the video and audio. So I will be looting things, even though I don't need to loot them. I will be talking to people, even when sometimes it's repetitive, but I just want to get all of it.
The captain's waiting for you in the comm room, Commander.
You probably don't want to keep the captain waiting, Commander.
Okay. So, you can see my points here are set, and I want to change that. So I am going to save and return, because I am going to... This is a setup for different gameplay style. They don't allow you to undo talent points after assigned. You can't change them. So I'm going to use a character modder to do that. Alright, so I'm going to set up now. I have changed it so that all my points have been refunded. I haven't given myself more points than normal. I could. I'm not going to need everything. So, Spectre training. I have my class chosen and Spectre training all maxed out for my previous 2 runs. This is how you begin the game with everything. So that essentially means this is the 3rd time through the full game that I'm playing with this one character. Yeah. I play an infiltrator. Essentially, Mass Effect 1 is my favorite. I like the cooldown timed mechanic. I really hate collecting ammo. I think it's ridiculous, particularly when you get to a place where you're like hunting Geth and they drop human ammo for human guns. I find that so ridiculously immersion breaking to like go on a collector ship and have, universal ammo. That's ridiculous. I believe I have mods for the later games that are going to change that, but I don't know how much. I hate it. Mass Effect 1 is my favorite. Okay, as I said, I do like the games, but I'm going to be eliminating all the things that I need to win all the games. Usually I would choose hacking, which is the only thing the Infiltrator doesn't have in order to be able to do everything in the game. You have to play through the game a few times to get that special ability. Well, play through the game at least once to get it so that you can use it on your second playthrough. So I'm not going to need electronics or decryption. What I did choose is singularity, because that is very helpful. Biotics on really high difficulties are an absolute necessity. Okay. Just because I can, I'm gonna give myself some intimidation points. Because I'm really not going to be using electronics. Hold on. Nah. This is why we take that back. I'm going to get, since I'm playing on higher difficulty, I'm going to get decryption high enough to unlock first aid and then max that out. Because if I play on easy or casual, essentially, I don't use, I just love headshots, so that's all I will do. So my last playthrough of this was nothing but straight awesome headshots. Okay, alright, there's no point in having one intimidation point, so I'm just going to put in the pistols. Not that I'm never going to be doing that either. Alright, so I start the game with a few inherited Paragon points. There are lots of mods for, hair mods for FemShep, but I go with this hair because it's the least problematic. It's big braids and big poofy hair and all that. They just clip through gear and helmets, and this is one of the better hairstyles that covers your weird-ass ears. And, so, she looks pretty good. Okay. So her skills are all set. Let's read the Codex that we have so far. Personal history summary. You were raised on Mindwar on the fringes of the Attican Traverse. When you were 16, the colony was raided by slavers. So, as I'd said, one of my characters, Kara, from Of Kittens and Broken Things, has an extended, portrayed childhood on Mindwar, lots of memories of Mindwar. So my concept of Mindwar comes from that fanfiction. And so I had a similar childhood to Kara, but not the same personality. Kara is wildly neurodivergent. Laneem is going to be pretty neurotypical. Just, really sane about it, knowing what she wants and what she needs, and managing her temper. Because this game there's a real good reason to be renegade at some point and people are just being complete morons. But she's going to be just nice, well-balanced. It's not going to freak her out. And she's aware. So she kind of has the patience of a kindergarten teacher dealing with, toddlers without it being a superiority thing. She doesn't get that frustrated. She doesn't get that angry. She is aware that she is generating enough energy to compensate for the stupidity of the galaxy, kind of thing. That's what she's trying to do. So she's aware of that, and she's never going to be like, why aren't you helping me? She knows why people aren't helping her. They're toddlers. You still have to, try to get toddlers to have a snack and have a nap. So she's not really going to exude, that sort of mom energy, but that is where her patience and her interest in saving the galaxy comes from. Very sane, very down to earth, very much like, I would say, one of the saner and most balanced characters in the game is Dr. Shakwas. So she would be very much like the way Dr. Shakwas is written. Yes, I'm out here and I'm bandaging things, but otherwise, although Dr. Shakwas does say it was, and Shakwas and Jenkins both say that where she was boring, but Laneem was not bored where she was. What she would do, and would share this with Kara in a way also, is these places are beautiful. The people are beautiful, and it's about preserving beauty, not about being bored and wanting to shoot things. But she does take unholy glee in headshots, which she gets completely from me. When you were 16, the colony was raided by slavers. The entire settlement was razed, and your friends and family were slaughtered. A passing Alliance patrol rescued you, but all you loved was destroyed. You enlisted with the Alliance military and were posted in Elysium. You were there during the Skillian Blitz, an attack on the colony by a massive coalition force of slavers, crime syndicates, and Batarian warlords. You rallied the civilian inhabitants, leading them in their desperate fight to hold off the invaders. When enemy troops broke through the colony's defenses, you single-handedly held them off and sealed the breach. After hours of brutal fighting, reinforcements finally arrived and the enemy broke ranks and fled. Because of your actions, Elysium was saved, and you are regarded throughout the Alliance as a true hero. Humanity in the Systems Alliance. 2069. Armstrong Outpost in Shackleton Crater becomes the first human settlement on Luna. It is formally founded on July 24th, the 100th anniversary of the first lunar landing. 2103. Lowell City in Eos Cosmo becomes the first human settlement on Mars. 2137. Eldfall Ashland Energy Corporation demonstrates helium-3 fuel extraction from the atmosphere of Saturn. 2142. Construction of Gagarin Station, Jump Zero, begins beyond the orbit of Pluto. So, I believe I am correct that Kaiden speaks about Jump Zero. So, that's part of Kaiden's... Sorry, I'm saying Kaiden. Should be Kaiden in this game. I'm probably going to swap on the pronunciation because there is a Kaiden mod follower in Skyrim, and I've certainly spent more time with Kaiden in Skyrim than Kaiden in Mass Effect. So, full disclosure, I don't like either of the options between Kaiden and Ashley, so I will be bringing probably Kaiden or Tali, and always go pick up Garrus, with who I have to take with me, and then I will do up to rescuing Tali without recruiting Rex, and then I will go get Rex, and then the rest of the game is going to be Rex and Garrus, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to be... Usually, my favorite casual, just fun to hang out with crew is Tali and Garrus, and that's pretty much my canon run. Even those are my favorite guys throughout the trilogy. I'm most loyal to Tali and Garrus, but I don't think I've done a full run where I've taken Rex with me, and the reason why to arc that way is because one of my favorite things in Mass Effect 3 is the Citadel DLC, and when you go raid and you have to choose a team to go with you, bringing Rex and Garrus is the absolute best, and that would be like a reiteration of what we did in Mass. So it would be a huge nostalgic joy to Shepard to be able to do that, and for that, she's going to bring Rex. One of the reasons why it's a roleplay reason to not bring Tali out is because it's insane how easily she can get killed. So there's always some, like, I can't even bring it in me to, like, romance her, knowing that, like, kissing her could kill her. So Rex doesn't have that issue. So that's how I'm moving into more of my canon team. This will keep Garrus more on the Paragon side. Rex will be the bad guy. And then there will be a reunion in Mass Effect 3. But my teams tend to be Garrus and Tali from Mass Effect 1. Then in Mass Effect 2, it is Thane and Garrus. And then in Mass Effect 3, it's Garrus and usually Tali when she gets back. So there is a theme of loyalty. Okay, Jump Zero. 2148. Prospectors discover the Prothean ruin at Prometheus Plenum on Mars. 2149. Translation of Prothean data leads humans to the Charon Mass Relay. Systems Alliance, founded to coordinate exploration and colonization of extrasolar worlds. 2151. A shipping accident at Singapore International Spaceport exposes downward communities to containers of dust form element 0. Alliance begins construction of Arcturus Station. So that is also Kaiden's origin, is he had a dust form element 0. So he canonically is Canadian, so that there was either an event in Canada or he was in Singapore at the time. 2152. Roughly 30% of the children born in Singapore after element 0 exposure suffer from cancerous growths. Systems Alliance begins settlement of Earth's first extrasolar colony world, planet Demeter. Weirdly, we never hear about Demeter again. Well, maybe we do. I'm going to be reading the Codexes this time, but the first world was Demeter, and I don't even know what happened to it. 2154. Commander Shepard born. That's me. 2155. Systems Alliance occupies completed portions of Arcturus Station as a headquarters. 2156. Some children of Singapore exhibit minor telekinetic abilities. 2157. Torians encounter human explorers. First Contact War. Occupation and liberation of the human colony of Shanxi. Yeah, that's such a stupid, this whole thing, well, you were there, so we attacked you. Torians are idiots. I'm sorry, but they're idiots. Again, toddlers. 2154. Humans learn potential of biotics. An international effort to track element 0 exposures begins. Roughly 10% of exposed children show some level of biotic ability. So, yeah, Caden's all wrapped up in that. 2160. System Alliance Parliament form. 2165. Humans establish embassy on Citadel. 2170. Batarian slavers attack the Alliance colony of Mindor. 2176. The Skillian Blitz. Pirates and slavers attacked Elysium, the human capital of the Skillian Verge. So, her heroic background was countering the Skillian Blitz. 2177. Thresher devour the Alliance colony of Akuz. That is another human, that is another Shepard origin story. That's the sole survivor. 2178. In retaliation for the Skillian Blitz, an Alliance fleet wipes out an army of slavers on the moon of Torfan. So, if you were not there to save Elysium, the renegade Shepard, ruthless origin, will wipe out the slavers on Torfan. 2183. Current date. Okay, so I'm not going to be reading the mission or assignment descriptions because we're just going to be living those.
Roughly 1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, the Turians have come to rely on the Solarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
Okay, let me adjust sound. Alright, unfortunately this is a sound effect, so I'm going to have to turn that up a little bit, or you're not going to be able to hear it. Turn the music down a little bit. The music isn't great in this game. There are a couple places where it's really good, but like this background, like MIDI weird shit, MIDI, like a Nintendo theme playing over and over and over is not my favorite. So I'm going to adjust some of this. It doesn't count as dialogue. I'll have to see if I can get a combat balance for this. The Alliance is the government and military of humanity beyond Sol.
The Systems Alliance is an independent supranational government representing the interests of humanity as a whole. The Alliance is responsible for the governance and defense of all extrasolar colonies and stations. The Alliance grew out of the various national space programs as a matter of practicality. Sol's planets had been explored and exploited through piecemeal national efforts. The expense of colonizing entire new solar systems could not be met by any one country. With humans knowing that alien contact was inevitable, there was enough political will to jointly fund an international effort. Still, the Alliance was often disregarded by those on Earth until the First Contact War. While the national governments dithered and bickered over who should lead the effort to liberate Shanxi, the Alliance fleet struck decisively. Post-war public approval gave the Alliance the credibility to establish its own parliament and become the galactic face of humanity.
Okay.
I just saw him. He marched by like he was on a mission.
He's a Spectre. They're always on a mission.
And we're getting dragged, right along with him.
Relax, Presley. You're gonna give yourself an ulcer.
Regular volume a little, try to get a good balance here. That was dialogue, but that's going to be dialogue in main scene. Some of this is directional, so if you they can be out of earshot, so there are subtitles on.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
What do you know about the stealth systems?
I just know it masks our location from scans and sensors. Cutting-edge technology. The Normandy's the only ship with this prototype drive. But why are we fully staffed? A skeleton crew would be cheaper. Less chance of security leaks, too. Plus, there's Nihilus. It's pretty obvious this shakedown run is just a cover.
For what?
Damned if I know, Commander. We're out here on false pretenses. I'm not a fan of being left in the dark.
Do you have a problem with the captain?
No, ma'am. But I can't figure out what he's doing here. Captain Anderson is one of the most decorated Special Forces officers in the service. If he melted down all his medals, he could make a life-size statue of himself. You don't send a soldier like that on a do-nothing mission. He's treating this shakedown run too seriously. Something big is going on.
You don't trust Nihilus?
I don't like Turians in general. It runs in my family. My grandfather fought in the First Contact War. Lost a lot of friends when the Turians hit us.
That was 30 years ago. You can't blame Nihilus for that.
No, I guess not. But it still makes me nervous to have a Spectre on board. Especially a Turian. We're an Alliance vessel, human military, but Nihilus doesn't answer to the captain like the rest of us. Spectres operate outside the normal chain of command. And they don't come along just to observe shakedown runs. Nihilus looks like he's expecting some heavy action. I don't like it.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
I grew up on Eden Prime, Doc. It's not the kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about this mission.
That's crazy. The captain's in charge here. He wouldn't take orders from a Spectre.
Not his choice, Doc. Spectres don't answer to anyone. They can do whatever they want. Kill anyone who gets in their way.
Oh, you watch too many spy vids, Jenkins.
What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
You need to calm down, Corporal. A good soldier stays cool even under fire.
Sorry, Commander, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
Just treat this like every other assignment you've had and everything will work out.
Easy for you to say. You proved yourself in the Blitz. Everybody knows what you can do. This is my big chance. I need to show the brass what I can do.
You're young, Corporal. You have a long career ahead of you. Don't do something stupid to mess it up.
Don't worry, ma'am. I'm not gonna screw this up.
What can you tell me about Nihilus?
Turians are generally well respected by the other species. Their fleet has more patrols protecting Citadel space than any other. They don't always get on well with us, though. Some people find them too rigid. Others still blame them for the First Contact War. As for Nihilus, I haven't said more than 2 words to him. He usually only speaks to the captain.
I hope we get a chance to see him in action. I heard Nihilus took down an entire enemy platoon all by himself.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're a war hero, right? Held off an entire enemy fleet during the Blitz single-handed? That's the kind of talent the Spectres are looking for.
This is all just wild speculation. The Spectres aren't interested in recruiting humans, no matter how capable.
You're from Eden Prime, aren't you, Jenkins? What's it like?
It's very peaceful, Commander. They've been real careful with development so you don't have any city noise or pollution. My parents lived on the outskirts of the colony. At night, I used to climb this big hill and stare across the fields back at the lights from the main settlement. It was gorgeous. But when I got older, I realized it was a little too calm and quiet for me. That's why I joined the Alliance. Even Paradise gets boring after a while.
Any idea why Eden Prime was chosen as our destination?
Not really sure, Commander. Eden Prime's one of our most stable colonies. Good place to take the Normandy for a shakedown run, I guess. No real danger there. There's gotta be something else going on. We've got a Spectre on board. That's why I'm so wound up. I can't wait for the real mission to start.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Alright, I'm gonna head down and sell some stuff. Oh, they're not gonna let me. Alright, I'm gonna begin the game with a full inventory. So, yeah. Yeah, I can't save. I can't sell anything. Yeah, so I have in my inventory all the stuff from Ilos and Citadel from my last playthrough.
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd get here first. It will give us a chance to talk.
The captain said he'd meet me here.
He's on his way. I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it really?
Do you know something?
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I figured there was something you weren't telling us.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir?
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Why didn't we keep the beacon for ourselves?
You humans don't have the best reputation. Some species see you as selfish, too unpredictable, too independent, even dangerous.
Sharing that beacon will improve relations with the Council. Plus, we need their scientific expertise. They know more about the Protheans than we do.
The beacon's not the only reason I'm here, Shepard.
Nihilus wants to see you in action, Commander. He's here to evaluate you.
Guess that explains why I bump into him every time I turn around.
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
You held off an enemy assault during the Blitz single-handed. You showed not only courage, but also incredible skill. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty of theories. But everyone agrees, galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
We've got his back, Captain.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
We are approaching drop point 2.
Ship perimeter secured, Commander.
No sign of Nihilus. Damn, he's fast.
Okay, so, Aiden will be focusing on biotics and barrier. I don't like stasis, so I don't put any points into it. Although it is a crowd control thing, I prefer lift, barrier, or singularity. Throw, or lift, or singularity, where things are lifted up into the air or knocked down, and you can still shoot them. Barrier, stasis essentially just holds things in place. And practically, that means you have to tell your group member to do it, and then you have to wait for it to wear off in order to do damage. And again, I just like shooting things. So though I have written, in fact, Kara was a major, her strengths were in strategy, I'm playing for fun, and I'm just going to do the stuff that I like doing. So that's Stealth Archer. Okay. Put decryption up as high as you can go. Put a couple into electronics, so I'm not going to be using that much. Okay. Alright, she's still wearing what she wore in the previous game. My setup that I love is high explosive rounds. Designed to detonate on impact, high explosive rounds have one major drawback, a massive increase in weapon overheating. So it's area damage, plus 500% heat generation, which means essentially one shot, and then you have to wait about 4 seconds. Plus 500% weapons force, 28% damage. It does a huge amount of damage, which is what is going to make that and singularity and having a biotic with me is what is going to make it a literal shooting gallery, my favorite thing. Kinetic coil, 7% damage, 28% weapon stability, and frictionless materials. It's plus 28% heat damping, which is going to cut down on the 500% heat increase, so it's going to give me about a 30% better chance. It probably cuts us a few seconds off of taking another shot. But the main reason to have it is 7% damage. Now, every weapon is going to have this setup for everybody. I comprehend strategy, but I like things. So again, high explosive grenades. There are a few spots in the game where you don't want to do area damage, but too bad. I'm probably still going to do it, which is again a renegade choice. All right, so Paragon's going to start with the best stuff in the game. And I got all of these HMW, the Spectre specific gear by gambling on it. And these Omni tools also, usually you can only get one in a run through, which means technically I should have two. They're from Bring Down the Sky, but if you go to Pinnacle Station, you can get more. Oh, Pinnacle Station, win it, and then get the entire apartment, and then gamble 250,000 credits on each shot. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna do something there. I learned this my last run through, which I never did. If you look, this says Lancer 1. And, I don't know how anybody ever found this. There's a little trash can here that you can highlight, and that means when you go to a vendor, you'll be able to sell it. Right now, I'm just gonna, I don't need it, but I'm gonna convert all this stuff to Omnigel. Oh, okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is mark this stuff as junk. And yes, pretty much everything in my inventory is left over from the last game. And you see I have like 5 million credits. That is just from my last run. So I started going to Ilos with like 0 credits, or at least less than 250,000. Okay, so I can't get more than 999 Omnigel, but I'm still going to convert stuff to Omnigel just to clear up my inventory so I can loot more. Why loot more when I don't need things? Because occasionally there are quest items in there, and I really don't want to find out that I failed to loot some. Alright, so that has cleared up some inventory. The one thing I don't... Well, we'll have to see what happens. I think the modded game tends to switch me... No, that's Mass Effect 2. I'm testing my mod list for Mass Effect 2. It's got a lot of stuff I don't like. Essentially, it swaps out the weapons at the beginning of every fight.
What the hell are those?
Gas bags. Don't worry, they're harmless.
Freaky looking things, aren't they?
So I know where most of the loot is. I'm just going to be headed over to the spots where they exist. Just out of habit. It's easier for me to just do it than remember, oh yeah, I'm not doing that anymore. I don't need that, but let's be thorough. Essentially, I'm going to be looting thousands of times for possibly 2 or 3 quest items that I need.
Oh God, what happened here?
This place got hit hard, Commander. Hostiles everywhere. Keep your guard up.
Jenkins, take point.
Yeah, I love that.
Perimeter secured.
Okay, so hold on. I if I recall, I need to change my key bindings. Okay. All right, so my abilities here need to be redone. I use some mods to change my abilities. So Singularity is going to be used the most. This is heal. Assassination. Just damage. Shield boost, so my healing abilities are grouped. My buffs will be grouped. These are... Alright, so buff. Immunity. Alright, singularity will be my go-to, so it's in my #1 spot. Oop. Sorry, that's a puppy on the floor. They're not damaged, they're just shaking. And they hit the wood floor. Singularity will be the thing I use the most. I'm going to be using headshots the most. Unity, immunity, shield boost. Assassination. And I'm probably not going to be using sabotage. But, okay. Alright. That should be good.
Ripped right through his shields. Never had a chance.
We'll see that he receives a proper service once the mission is complete. But I need you to stay focused.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Yeah, I love Caden's voice actor. Like, I really love him a lot. I love the actor, I love the guy, but I can't stand the character. I don't. And I understand why he was written the way he was written, but the abuse you have to take from him in Mass Effect 2 is intolerable. And he says really dumb things in this game too.
Got some burned out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
I don't think I'm close enough to it. When you can't actually see the R. I did hit it, I just couldn't measure how much I was hitting it. So as you can see, this is even on Insanity difficulty, it's pretty easy. On Casual, these would melt away with one shot, but I might change the difficulty later, depending on how annoying it becomes. But my last run through, I was just testing the mods, and I ran it on Casual, and it was crazy easy. So, considering this is my 3rd time through, and I have all the best stuff, okay, so yeah, the last game I literally only did headshots. Never used Metagel, never used tactics, never had to worry about anything. This one will be a bit more difficult. And I ran the wrong way. I do that. I get up, I come back, I run the wrong way. For those who don't know, I have aphantasia, which means I can't visualize things. I know maps by rote, but I don't have any visualization, and that affects about 1% of the population. We don't see pictures in our head. It's nothing. It's nothing. It's just dark. I was thinking of doing a YouTube channel called A Fantastic Gamer, APHANTASTIC, but I never did. I just put everything here. So I'm challenging myself this round to make it a bit harder. Even though this is, this is not at all the way a vanilla first run insanity difficulty run is. So this is not going to be like, look at me, I can do insanity. Well, I did insanity before. I didn't record it. And I don't need to pretend that this one is the hardest. Because it isn't. This is very easy. I just love headshots. That's all that matters.
Thanks for your help, Commander. I didn't think I was gonna make it. Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
Are you wounded, Williams?
A few scrapes and burns. Nothing serious. The others weren't so lucky. Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, ma'am. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
What else do you know about the Geth?
Just what I remember from history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol, until the Geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime. None that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
Move out!
Okay, so let's boost Ash up. Do her buffs first. Okay, as much as I love sniper rifles, followers are not great with sniper rifles. They will overheat and then switch to another weapon with my setup. So I don't micromanage these guys. I think the best game BioWare has done in terms of I'm gonna give her shotguns and assault weapons. And then, okay, just give her point in the sniper. Alright, can't. Alright, but yeah, sniper rifles aren't great with my setup, just because of the overheat on the weapons that I have. So they can really only use them once, and then they'll switch, which is fine. They're really my babies, so... So I'm okay if nobody else is good at it. So, since I have played through with, Garrus, mostly, you will have to, forgive me. Okay, so on all the armor is also this, energized plating, 23% damage protection, and kinetic exoskeleton, 35% shield recovery, plus 50% shields, and plus 26% mobile accuracy. So, in this game, just, your followers are idiots. I don't know how else to do it. Although, if you play Dragon Age Origins, your followers are amazing. And even if you don't like them, you love them because they have saved your life over and over and over and done amazing things and been fantastic tanks and all that sort of stuff. In this game, they're idiots. They don't use cover. They don't stay behind cover. They don't use weapons well. It's just true. So I'm going to ignore that whole thing and just treat this like a solo game.
That man was still alive when they stuck him on the spike.
Impaling victims instead of just shooting them. There must be some reason behind it.
Classic psychological warfare. They're using terror as a weapon.
Killing us isn't enough. The Geth want us to suffer.
So, I'm afraid this game has kicked my ass in terms of me trying to figure out micromanaging the strategy, even though I have loved that in other games. Like I said, Dragon Age Origins is phenomenal in that aspect.
Then I guess we better take it back.
Okay, that's... Little buddy. I was just saying. Your head. Oh my god. I can tell them every time where to go, but I would die of a heart attack. Because they're so stupid. So I would like to challenge myself to play a really good hard game, but it really kicked my ass in terms of strategy. It's not good. Particularly since there are so many other games you could play to build really good squad dynamics. This isn't one of them. Oh, that sounds like my house is burning down, but it's just my bread maker. It's the loudest bread maker on the planet. It wants the entire neighborhood to know that we have sourdough. Hey guys, Geth, we have sourdough. Saren, sourdough. Oh, he's Dexter. Yes, something.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
You think anyone got out of here alive?
If they were lucky. Maybe hiding up in the camp. It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Okay, so we're going to be coming...
Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
We're coming up on the research camp in a little bit. And that's actually the character introduced here is one of the reasons why I really wanted to replay. Now, I've played this a lot. I've written millions of words on it. I've spent a large chunk of my life on it, and I haven't played in a couple of years.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
I saw a comment on Reddit about how Manuel, who is in one of these shelters? I don't know what to call them. Shelters up here that you get into with the research scientist, is the NPC in the ME2 Firewalker downloadable content. I never made that connection, so it was part of me going, oh, you know, there's still a lot I don't know. So he's my inspiration. I love you, Manuel.
Oh God, they're still alive.
What did the Geth do to them?
Okay, I don't know why they make husks so, like, near unkillable. Oh, I can't aim. Yeah, I don't know why. This game, I was using a sniper rifle, and after cutscenes, it switches me to a different weapon, and I don't know why. But I'm assuming that is happening to the NPCs. And yeah, they're not gonna hold on to their weapons. I remember trying to like make Garrus a co-sniper, and it was impossible.
Now we know what those spikes are for. Turning our own dead against us.
It must take a few hours for the spikes to turn people into husks.
So I remember the first time I did a insanity run, and when I met Garrus in Mass Effect 3, and I was like, oh, you're alive, and he goes, I'm hard to kill, you should know that. Oh my god, I actually laughed out loud. So,
That door, it's closed. Security lock's engaged.
To make it seem as though the people that I am with are badasses, it's better to lower the difficulty. Okay, so the mod here, all it does is override using 0 Omnigel. So by that way, I could do the manual override, or it cost me nothing. I also got a ton of Omnigel, but I'm gonna
Humans, thank the Maker.
Hurry, close the door before they come back.
Hello, Dr. Manuel.
Don't worry, we'll protect you.
Thank you. I think we'll be okay now. It looks like everyone's gone.
You're Dr. Warren, the one in charge of the excavation. Do you know what happened to the beacon?
It was moved to the spaceport this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to help pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
So if you listen very carefully, he actually foreshadows the end of the game, or even the end of the series. He's certainly foreshadowing Reaper intent. So there's been a lot of discussion on this, which I think is fun. But although some people think he is indoctrinated by saying he was here when Sovereign Ship was here, and that indoctrination never happened to Ash. Although, I don't know, maybe she was smarter before I met her. But essentially, what I think, and my canon thought is I understand he's just a writing MacGuffin, that he, and a foil for a renegade Shepard to punch because he's annoying them. But the reality is he's foreshadowing the end, so in my canon head, he got close enough to the beacon to get some, but not all, probably got dreams or nightmares, and is considering himself a prophet. But it is the beacon. At least that's my headcanon. And I love this guy.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the destroyers, bringers of darkness, heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside, Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack.
That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry, Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
It's also Kaiden's uncanny ability to come to the exact wrong conclusion throughout, like, all of the games that makes it not fun for me to have him around.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network, remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please. This isn't the time.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Nothing. Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
Is it madness to see the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
Yeah, if you say I can shut him up, that's renegade, and you punch him. And never do that to Dr. Manuel. Never, never. He's right. Caden's an idiot. Honor the man.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down. You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
He doesn't. Said in Arrested Development style. So yeah, if anybody ever did a overhaul of the AI in this game so that your followers weren't idiots, I would love that. That's my dog, Bo. He's warning me about Saren too. Thank you, Bo.
Saren? Nihilus.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Yeah. That's what happens when you say you're gonna watch me to evaluate me, and then you run ahead.
What is that? Off in the distance.
It's a ship. Look at the size of it.
Okay, so this I don't understand. I do not understand why Sovereign takes off. And then Saren uses the beacon. Why isn't he on that ship with the beacon? Why did he leave the beacon when it was already packed up for shipping? So, none of this makes sense. But, I like shooting things in the head. See how they fly up in the air and explode? It's awesome. You. Not doing a thing. Oh my god. I'm pressing 1 and yet no singularity is happening. Okay. Okay, there's something. Yeah, not just me being dead, but there's something wrong because All my hotkeys were not working. Couldn't even shoot.
What is that? Off in the distance.
It is a tradition. I have to be killed by a husk at least once at the beginning of the game. I'm used to shooting death once, and then you have to shoot the husk like 4 times. I should be using different ammo, I get that, but I'm never gonna. Just kind of run around like crazy little squirrels. But they're not really dead. I can't even know what's doing damage to me here. Okay. How'd they get behind me? Are they behind me? That bit's in front of me. Where are you, little buddy? You dead? You bet he dead?
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out. We're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
You're okay now. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Those things were crawling all around the shed. They would have found us for sure. We owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it. When we saw that ship, I thought it was all over.
It showed up right before the attack. Knew it was trouble the second I saw it, so we made a break for the sheds.
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The 3 of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
Do you know anything about the Prothean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us. Not until now.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring, nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
You're breaking the law, Cole.
We're not hurting anybody. Hell, most of the time I don't even know what's in the packages. Just thought there might be something we could use. I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
We're risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over, but you probably deserve it more than I do.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
He might have something to do with this whole attack, Cole. We need his name. It's important.
Yeah, okay, you're right. His name's Powell. Works the docks at the spaceport, if he's still alive.
I have to go.
Good luck.
Ooh, a Stinger 2. Something I wouldn't even use in the vanilla game.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
A Turian? You know him?
He's a Spectre. He was with us on the normal.
Something's moving, over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got you killed.
I'm sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
I need to know how Nihilus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
Is there anything else you can tell me about the beacon?
They brought it here this morning. We loaded it up onto the train and shipped it to the other platform. Hard to believe that was only a few hours ago. Feels like a whole other life.
Tell me about this mothership you saw.
I've never seen anything like it before. It was huge. Landed over near that platform. The whole place got dark as it came down. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up. The attack came a few minutes later.
You're Cole's contact here on the docks, for the smuggling ring.
What? No! I mean, what does it matter now? So I'm a smuggler, who cares? My supervisor's dead, the entire crew's dead. Doesn't matter now, does it?
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch! We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
Just give me the grenades.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
A lot of Marines died here, Powell. Those grenades could have come in handy. If I were you, I'd think of some way to make it up to them.
Yeah, okay. There is something else I was saving. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental technology, top of the line. Take it. I don't need it. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
Yeah, so most of this game is toddlers you don't or can't shoot. If you'll notice, they're standing behind crates shooting the tops of the crates, because the bad guys are on the other side of the crates. And this is really stupid, but they were the stupid. They started it.
I'm a little busy here.
Weirdly, with my setup, Geth are much easier than the Husks. of my crew do not know how to shoot at things and not through crates. Where? Guys aren't managing to shoot anybody, and if you'll notice, Caden just stands there. They don't move up. Stand there. Ashley's just... So unfortunately, camaraderie is created in cutscenes.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
I don't understand why he would leave the beacon behind. Why he would blow the place up. With the beacon
Demolition charges! The Geth must have planted them!
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down!
Don't say. So Saren is a giant toddler who needs a nap. Oh, it's getting on the left. Oh, 17. Hold on. Hey, baby. This is Vandal. Hey, Vandal. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh. Okay. Alright, come on. Come on, we gotta save the spaceport, buddy. Yeah, I can't. I can't see the keyboard. Vandal, during my playthrough of Skyrim, ripped one of my keys out. Hey. So he's still learning that he's not allowed to mess with my keyboard. And he's not a good learner. Not at all. You don't learn much, do you? No, you don't. You're adorable. And we love you. But you have not yet learned that claws do not go on keyboards. Because he wants to get my hand, so my hand will pet him. Yeah. So settle down a little bit. Oh, right. Yeah, I give myself, like, endless storm in here. So I can make it forever. Yeah, honey, good? Forever? See how good Singularity is. You moved. You did it! It certainly helps if you've done this section of the game 20 times and know where everything is. Well, 20 times in the last month. Yeah? Second month? Basically, yeah, that one's not coming back. There are some problems with biotics in this game, though. There are a few times where traveling with Liara, her Singularity, her throw knocks things around so much that since you can't jump in this game, the passage becomes impassable. Oh, hold on. Maybe he has a claw in my shirt. Alright, buddy. So I've had to restore the game and start over because they don't really account for biotics. You can actually like block a passageway completely. And since you can't like randomly start combat or use, well, I suppose I could have just kept trying to have Liara fix it. So unfortunately, this whole beginning section is just ridiculous to me. And then the boobs on Venezia are even more ridiculous. And again, it's a case, again, love Marina Sirtis, love the voice actress, just given terrible content and just, I don't know, I don't think we need to be obsessed with Ibsari boobs, but here we are. And even when you go fight her, she's not like, she's not even a good boss. You know what her ability is? Opening doors with commanders and death behind her. Oh. Candles out. It's too loud here. Oh, please don't. Okay. Oh! Beacon is bugged.
Smells like smoke and death.
What did I do? Oh my god, my beacon is bugged. Well then. Let's see if I can... And it won't let me save. Nice. Oh, cool. Let's reset. I'm bugged. Fun! Okay, I'm gonna have to try to... I can't say it. It's just gonna have me run around playing the dumb
Demolition
things,
charges! The Geth must have planted them!
Okay.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down!
Should be good. Yay!
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is
Request
amazing.
immediate
Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up.
Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Shepard!
No, don't touch. It's too...
I believe the mod also changed that sequence, which never makes any sense to me, but it's less cringe, so yeah. Hard to believe you guys are on the verge of... Well, stupid people always win stupid prizes, huh?
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated.
Doctor? Dr. Chakwas. I think she's waking up.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
Minor throbbing. Nothing serious. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. And the blast knocked you cold. Williams and I had to carry you back here to the ship.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction... Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Did we leave Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best. A living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.